Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today we are in Windenburg building let's call it a nicely looking townhouse in this very reddish, gives a very reddish vibe with this red brick and then these white stoned windows with the wood frames. Well, you would say the white stone frames with the wooden windows. Well, that's what. This house is it's a townhouse. It's on the main square in Windenburg, and it is quite ornate. I designated it as a museum in my game because, well, you will see. As I said, it's quite ornate and it's not really livable in. Could be like a city hall, maybe something like this. So yeah, it is filled with CC from Felixander and Harry, and then I discovered this new painting CC person guy, but also statues. I mean person, I don't know if it's a guy. And I went completely all out on paintings and statues, and you will see when we get further into the build how, yeah, it was refreshing to have like some new items that would fit in the trends that I do my builds in. Yeah, this build is more of a manor house, so it has a kitchen which you can find in the basement, so it would be nice to have a butler or at least a cook. And it has two wings. Here we are working in one, and then some other private apartments in the other part of the house. As I said, it's not very functional, so there's not a lot of ensuite bathrooms in this thing, but I like to hang out here with my Sims and then leave. I have it bought as a retail, and so I never open it, so my Sim then just lives for a time in the city. But here we are starting to work really on the exterior, so we have a bit the interior figured out, and here I am having a lot of fun with something that I normally don't do so often, is these very ornate facades, because I always thought it would incredibly lag my game and I would never want to play with them, but it turned out to be quite well, working quite well actually. And so we used all these little CC items to make this facade look less bland as it normally does, because normally my facades are not the most interesting, I must say. But if I have to say it myself, then why not say it? No, so I think they're not interesting at all, actually, because I normally never leave the house with my Sims. I also not particularly good in building gardens, so I worked on myself and I learned, let's see how it goes, but I tried this new facade and it worked out very well. It looks like it could be a German small town house, or like an English, not a townhouse, village house? How would you call this? I've absolutely no idea. I should Google it after this video. And here you see me going all out with these new paintings that I found, with these portraits which fit so well in the atmosphere of my builds. And I will have the guy, the person, I'm being very binary today. The person, so it was what I was trying to say, linked in the description down below, and you should really check it out. It's all for free, and it is so nice to see it in this build. And then you just saw me put some statues in, and they come in so many varied options that I had a good fun in the screenshots, but making interesting compositions in the screenshots. And if you make it to the screenshots, you will see that I did not make pictures of every room, because I find my screenshots, if I see the ones from Harry or James Turner or Delicacy, the screenshots are always very interesting, but I don't think I can resemble theirs. So I am trying a different way. I am trying, so as you saw with the intro, to make these, well, let's make it sound very old-fashioned, like these moving images. And then towards the screenshot, I try to be more artistic. So there won't be pictures of every room in it, but really interesting, but really points of interest, really interesting spots for you to, but I would picture that you might see, maybe not of this sort, in Architectural Digest or something. These, well, they're also inspired on this. Let's also reference my inspiration, but more the interesting parts. And you can only have so many pictures in a magazine, for instance, so why go all out with pictures of every room? So I hope you will enjoy them, and I hope you will let me know what you think of it. If you have made it now so far already, then stick around and let me know what you think. So here we are working on the kitchen, and then the how do you call this, servants' quarters? I would call them that, because I built one with 2 bedrooms because I found a mod where you can summon servants out of nowhere, and they just live on your lot, and they function basically as butlers. And it's part of a bigger mod. It's called the royalty mod, I think. And so you basically summon random townsies, and then you have them live in your house, which I thought was quite fun. And you can have them then designed as cook or as nanny or as gardener, or just as a an overall servant, let's call it that. And I thought, well, this house should, if I ever want to move here, have space for them. Because this is part of then, well, me playing with the mod in which I built this, but in which I'm still building this enormous mansion, and I was a bit lost, so I went to this one, and well, I was a bit lost in where I should go with it, what I should do next. So I then designed this one, and well, I think it turned out quite nice. Nice. Well, fine. So yeah, again, let me know what you think. I have some other builds lined up, and they are in process of getting ready. I put out a schedule for myself, but then schedules and I, we're not always the greatest friends. We really try, but lately it has been a bit hard with the summer and the temperatures and the weather to just keep a schedule. But hey, here is to trying and to trying harder, basically. Let's call it trying harder. So here we are in the ground floor. So I also switched it up in the designing of this build. Actually, I started with the upper floor with basically the private apartments, because in these houses you would always have private apartments where then basically life went on, and then more the stately rooms where it was colder and it was more used occasion-wise. So I started with the upstairs apartment, something I normally do, and by the bedrooms I'm tired. I mean, certainly the one on the left side of the entrance if you're standing in front of the house. The one up there, I spend a lot of time in figuring it out and getting it to look interesting and not just another factory build. Yeah, getting it out just to get it out, but to have it look nicely and have it also be usable in my private game. Yeah, and let me actually know what you think of the facade, or if you think these builds are worth having, or if it's just like what I used to think and maybe still am slowly thinking that it is a waste of processing, of memory of my computer to have it work. I have it process all these different items. I don't know. Oh, I'm very thoughtful of this now. I'm very pensive. I should think about it. No, so we are almost at the end. There are supposed to be more videos coming on a more scheduled basis. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I will see you again soon. Yeah, bye.